Living alone is the dream for a lot of people. You get total freedom. I'm talking no roommates leaving dirty dishes in the sink, no parents asking where you're going, no stupid rules about quiet hours. It's just you, your space, and your rules. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. Financially speaking, living alone is difficult. It comes with a bunch of hidden costs that hit way harder when there's nobody else to split them with. And I'm not just talking about the obvious stuff like rent. There's a lot of little expenses that sneak up on you too. So today I want to break down the financial realities of living alone. The good, the bad, and the how the hell is my grocery bill higher than my rent? And then I'll share some tips at the end that can help make it a lot more manageable. Let's start with the obvious first, the fixed cost. Rent, mortgage, internet, utilities, all of the baseline bills that are going to show up at the end of the month, whether you like it or not. Here's the harsh reality. Those don't care whether you're living alone or if you have 3 roommates. Wi-Fi is going to be $70 a month, whether you're binging Netflix by yourself or you have a whole house mooching off the same password. Same goes with the base rate of your electricity and gas bill. So before you even flip on a light switch, the utility company is going to slip you a nice bill just for the privilege of serving you. When you've got roommates, you don't even think about it. You split it 4 ways and your share of the Wi-Fi bill is what, like 18 bucks? You're not even going to notice it. But when you're on your own, suddenly that's $70 out of your pocket. And that's just for one bill. Rent's another big one. The difference between splitting a 2-bedroom apartment and renting a 1-bedroom solo can be easily hundreds of dollars a month. And sometimes people don't notice how nice the roommate saving is until it's gone. So the first big shock is realizing that now you're carrying the whole load. There's nobody there to Venmo you their half on the first of the month. But it doesn't just stop with the obvious stuff. There are a bunch of hidden costs that creep in once you start living alone, and groceries are a perfect example of this. When you live with other people, food gets eaten. If you buy a massive pack of chicken, it's probably gone in a couple of days. Alone, you might buy a loaf of bread and only make it halfway through it before it starts turning into some sort of science experiment. And produce, just forget about it. Bananas don't care about your meal plan. They're either green and hard as a rock or brown and mushy in like 2 days. And because you end up wasting more, your grocery bill can feel like it's more even when you're technically buying less. And that's when the temptation to just say, screw it, I'm ordering Uber Eats kicks in. And we all know how big of a money sink that can be. Then there's the household items, stuff that you've never really cared to think about before. I'm talking toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, dish soap, cleaning supplies. These aren't glamorous purchases by any means, but you're gonna need them and they add up quickly. And when you're living solo, you can't split up that cost. You're gonna be buying that whole 12 pack of toilet paper and you're gonna be wondering, where the heck do I fit this in a 1-bedroom apartment? Even things like condiments, ketchup, mustard, spices, all of the things that you take for granted and they're always just there when you need them, they cost a small fortune when you have to go set up your kitchen for the first time. Living alone forces you to front load all of those expenses, and you're gonna be the only one paying that bill. And all of that is really expensive, but the one that really kicked my ass when I first moved into my apartment is the furniture and setup shock. When you live with roommates, there's usually some hand-me-down furniture in the mix. Somebody's got an old couch, someone else has the coffee maker, and then there's a random TV stand or 2 in there as well. You kind of just combine forces to make it work. But when you move out alone, you're basically starting from zero, and you start to realize just how many little things a home actually needs. Obviously, there's the big ticket items, a bed, a couch, maybe a desk. But then there's also a million tiny little things that you don't realize you need until you don't have them when you need them. Things like a trash can or a shower curtain. Heck, you could be halfway through cooking pasta and then realize you don't even have a pot to cook it in. The first time I moved out, I made like 4 Target runs in that first week because I realized I didn't have anything I needed all of the time. And I spent so much money buying this, that, and the other thing that it was literally death by 1,000 swipes. And this is where it starts to hit you that cheap furniture and household items aren't actually that cheap. You can go out bargain shopping and maybe you'll get a couch that only has one stain on it for $100. But then you also need to get a $200 bed frame, dishes worth $50, a vacuum for $40, and so on. Suddenly, your moving costs are now easily a couple $1,000s. And that's why a lot of people's first solo apartments look a little bit like this. People tend to underestimate just how much it costs to build a household up from scratch. So they end up sitting on the floor with a lawn chair and a cardboard box for the first couple of months. Now, I don't want this video to sound like living alone is some sort of financial nightmare. It's definitely doable, and it comes with a bunch of great benefits. You just have to be, intentional with how you handle it. So here are a few tips that might make a big difference. Budget for setup costs. Don't move into a new place thinking you only need to afford rent and utilities. Save up a little extra money, even if it's just a couple $100 for those late night Target runs when you realize you don't have anything. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Buy secondhand items. Facebook Marketplace is an absolute gold mine. Do you see this TV stand right here behind me? I bought it brand new from Home Furniture for almost $400. But I found it a couple weeks later on Facebook Marketplace in pristine condition for $25. People basically just throw away furniture that they either don't want anymore or don't have space for. So make sure you're using this to your advantage. Also, if you're lucky like me, some family members might have some extra things around the house that they don't need or use anymore. Thank you, Grandma. Start meal prepping. Living alone doesn't mean that you have to waste food. Cook things that you can freeze and reheat. Things like pasta, stir fry, and chili. These will stretch you across a whole week. You'll waste less, and you'll save a boatload compared to ordering takeout. Watch your subscriptions. Now that you can't spread the cost of a subscription 6 or 7 different ways, make sure that you're actually using the subscriptions that you're paying for. Every once in a while, just scroll through your subscriptions and cancel any of the ones that you don't really use. An emergency fund is critical. This one's huge because when you live alone, there's no safety net if you all of a sudden can't cover rent. So aim to save between 3 and 6 months of expenses. It's not going to be fun, but it'll give you peace of mind at night. Don't rush the furnishing. You don't need a Pinterest perfect apartment on day one. Start with less and buy things as you need them. Slowly building to your space will be much easier on your wallet, and it makes you appreciate the upgrades. At the end of the day, living by yourself is a financial adjustment. There's just no way around it. Your bills are higher, your groceries don't last as long, and you'll probably end up spending a small fortune on furniture you barely use. But on the flip side, you get total independence. You'll learn how to manage your money better, you'll figure out what's actually important to you, and you get to build a space that's fully yours. It's not always easy, but honestly, it's worth it. Budget a little extra, plan for those hidden costs, and just remember, it's okay to like this video. But that's all I got for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.